Yo, what's up guys? It's me, Joltz. Welcome back to another video on the channel. In this video, after a year or something like that, a long time, we are finally back with yet another Hot Takes video for you guys. And not just that, today we got the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, the man everyone loves, B-Rad the man. How you doing, B-Rad?
Yo, how's it going, Joltz? I'm doing good. I'm just ready to spit some hot takes and honestly some hot facts. So,
yeah, well, no, not you. Me, yes, but no. You ain't gonna be spitting nothing true.
bro.
So basically how this works is both have 5 hot takes that we're going to discuss in this video, and we're going to explain it to everyone, and we're going to debate each other along the way. And I know for a fact that I'm going to have some things that he's going to really disagree with, and I'm sure vice versa. And all of you are going to hate it as well. If you hate it, be sure to type down in the comments how much you think we are stupid and bad and everything, just because we think that Transit is a good map.
Transit's a good map.
Not to play spoiler alert or nothing, but no.
Am I back in 2013 again?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, hey, it just turned 10 years old, so
Yeah.
people have been sleeping on it for a decade. Ha ha! You get it? Because you could sleep zombies with the EMP?
Oh, I thought you were just gonna say because it was boring as shit and you could sleep on the bus.
That too. Alright, this video has no direction so far, so let's change that. If y'all enjoy, drop a like, subscribe if you're new. Also, let me know your hot takes down below in the comments. If I get enough hot takes, maybe I'll make that a community reaction type thing. With that all out of the way, B-Rad, why don't you start us off with your number 5?
All right, so this is probably going to be more of a hot take for the community than it might be for you and me, but Winter's Whale is better than Widow's Wine.
No.
I will say that. I will say that with my, pounding my chest. Winter's Whale is a much better perk than Widow's Wine. Don't get me wrong, both S tier perks, both amazingly and whatever they do for you, but Winter's Whale is a better perk. It helps you in a way to not get killed. It literally can freeze all the zombies, and the best part is it's rechargeable and it doesn't kill the last zombie. Winter's Whale is much better than Widow's Wine.
Okay, first off, it's a sexier perk design, perk jingle. How's the Winter's Whale perk jingle? Don't you just love it?
Yeah, we don't talk about the perk jingles with you.
The effect on Widow's Wine is much cleaner, much more sexier, and you can recharge Widow's Wine faster with than Winter's Whale.
You can't recharge Widow's Wine with faster than Winter's Whale. You need a max ammo.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I forgot.
You throw a Widow's Wine grenade on the ground, the whole horde gets affected. That's basically infinite Widow's Wine grenades.
Yeah, I did forget about that. But you also have to throw the grenade, or you have to be in the web, or you have to be in the cluster, get out of the cluster, and then you have to shoot all the zombies, and you have to pray that one of the drops does come. But if the drop doesn't come, you don't get that grenade back, and by the time you lose all 4, you could potentially be getting down when you're in your training spot, and you need to get that Widow's Wine grenade.
You say the same thing with Winter's Whale.
But Winter's Whale, it recharges slowly, but it does recharge. Especially if you have time slip, it just recharges a hell of a lot faster. Plus, yeah, just Winter's Whale, like if you're in a corner, it gives you a moment to actually sit down there. You can pretty much be in your corner, and zombies aren't going to hit you because you're already in the crowd. And you can shoot all the zombies out of the way and make your own path. Can't do that with Widow's Wine.
That's true. You do got me there. The area of effect on Winter's Whale is much bigger than Widow's Wine.
Especially in the modifier.
Yeah, the modifier too. Remember whenever Winter's Whale didn't have the modifier?
Oh god, yeah, that was.
And it was like really bad.
Yeah, Winter's Whale, pre-patch Winter's Whale was terrible. Post-patch Winter's Whale is quite honestly, and to me, I think Winter's Whale is a much better perk, or probably the best perk in BO4. I probably even run that more.
Hold on, we have more hot takes than 5. Hold up now. We're going to go down this path real quick. Why do you think Winter's Whale is the best perk in the game? Better than Tortoise? Better than Dying Witch?
I was gonna say the only other perk that might be better than Winter's Wail would be Stamina, because you do need stamina up,
my
especially in Black
God.
Ops 4. No, trust me, Winter's Wail, it helps out, especially if you're doing the Easter eggs. That Dying Wish obviously is a clutch perk, or a crutch perk, excuse me. Like, it's a much needed perk, but I can tell you, like, unless I'm doing like a gauntlet that I never do, or if I really, really need to make sure that everything needs to be done in order to do like a speed run or anything, I don't need Dying Wish. I don't need Dying Wish. Victorious Tortoise, never run that. Winter's Wail, run it all the time. That's the ultimate save me perk.
See,
in my opinion.
I don't think you realize what you're missing without running Victorious Tortoise ever. Victorious Tortoise is like, you're literally invincible as long as you have a shield.
True.
And if the shield breaks, it'll instantly kill everything around you, giving you enough time to go get a new one.
I missed something. Can you say it again?
Hold on a second. Alexa, shut up. How
Alexa's trying to tell you how stupid of a take this is.
Alexa is invading our homes. I will give you that. Yes, Victorious Tortoise can save you when you're in a corner as well. However, if you already have like low shield durability, then the Victorious Tortoise does nothing. Or if you don't have a shield at all, Victorious Tortoise does nothing. Winter's Wail goes with you every step of the way until it basically runs out. But it's going to take forever for it to run out, because by the time the other zombie hits you to get the other charge out, it's not going to matter, because like they're all going to be clumped together and they can't hit you. Yeah, I just think Winter's Wail is definitely much better than Widow's Wine. It's probably the best perk in the entire Black Ops 4 catalog.
Yeah, I definitely do not agree with that, but I don't think I'm going to be able to change your mind, unfortunately. I just don't see it, though.
Like I said, I can tell you right now, I've never, probably since it got patched, or the post-patch, I don't think I've ever taken Winter's Wail out of my modifier. I don't think I've ever taken it out on my runs.
That's insane.
It's the best perk in the game.
I'm thinking of bookending my takes with two things that kind of go hand in hand on my list. I don't know if I want to do that, because they're both insanely hot takes. And I don't know if I want to go straight out the rip like that. You know what? I'll let Siri decide my fate. Heads, I just spill the beans now. Tails, I save it for later. Flip a coin.
Fair enough.
Tails.
Oh, Siri thinking of that watch retention right there. So, my number 5 spot now, apparently, is I think that the Origins Panzer is miles better than the Horizon Drac Panzer. And the Outbreak Panzer, for that matter. The Origins Panzer is the best Panzer we've ever had.
I'll give you that Panzer is better than the Outbreak Panzer, because that one is a bitch. But is it better than the Horizon Drax Panzer?
Yes, it is. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you exactly why, B-Rab. The Horizon Drac Panzer, he has one fatal flaw, and that is the attack that they've replaced the Claw with. The Claw was never a big problem. And my phone went off. God damn it. The Claw was never a problem for me in Origins. You just keep your distance from him, he won't claw you. I mean, he'll attempt to, but he won't hit you. Just keep your distance. And that's what Zombies is at its core. It's a game of cat and mouse. It's a game of run and catch, or however you want to say it. Horizon Drac, he's like, nah, you know what? If you're more than 10 feet away from me, I'm going to spam these fucking shock charges at you like there's no tomorrow. And you will be shocked, and you cannot turn, and it's just like the Nova Gas, and it sucks, it's bad, it's horrible. It's the worst thing about the Horizon Drac, is the Panzer shock charge.
And granted, okay, so I'm a guy that doesn't really play Origins that much, but the few times that I have encountered the Origins Panzer, yeah, the claw is pretty annoying. The fire is definitely going to kill you, but the fire is definitely going to kill you in Horizon Drac as well. I honestly, I like the shock charge attack just a little bit more than the claw, just because the claw, like, not only does it drag you back to the crowd or whatever, but it also holds you in place there as well for like a solid couple of seconds. And I'd rather be dazed and trying to still run away from the danger than get stuck and just be completely screwed by a claw that's going to completely obliterate you. One thing I will give you about Origins Panzer being better than Horizon Track Panzer is if you actually go into Origins on BO3, it does have that rampage mode that it had in Horizon Track after you shoot its face mask off, and that's an absolute ass with the mud in Origins. But it works in Horizon Track because you have, in my defense or my argument, like some of the best wonder weapon, like one of the best sets of wonder weapons of all time. So
damn, screw this ass, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. But but no, I just think I don't know. I guess I've never really had an issue with Horizon Track's Panzer, whereas like Origins Panzer is just more of a pain in the ass. And also it helps out too that when you're on round 8 on Origins, especially in Black Ops 2, like you basically have an MP40 and that's about it. Maybe like a good box gun if you get lucky and you actually get a ray gun. Whereas they're a little bit easier to kill in Horizon Track because by that time you should have a good chunk of a bow completed. So, you should have a bow
on
completed.
Origins, you more than likely will have a staff at least built basically. Which reminds you, you can get stuff as easy as riding the tanker on a map, digging when it's snowing, which can do anywhere from 1 to 3 rounds before the Panzer even spawns, or as simply as just going in all 3 robots. And it's not like you need an upgraded staff to take them out on round 8. But if you for some reason cannot get a staff by round 8, you can get the MP40, you can do the 115 headshots you can get completed by then and get a free packed gun from the trials. You can get claymores, which pretty much insta-kill the Panzer. There's so many counterplays to the Panzer.
I don't really see that. Like I guess for me, like it's gonna be a lot harder to get a staff than it is to get a bow by the time the Panzer shows up, because I also forgot that the Panzer in Horizon Track comes in around 12. But I just feel like it's going to be a lot more difficult to kill the Panzer on Origins and Black Ops 2. Yeah, the Claymores are going to help you out, but the Panzer in Origins, it eats MP40 bullets for breakfast. And if you're efficient, you might be able to get a staff, but you also have to really be efficient because you have that entire fucking map to open up. I just don't, like I said, for someone that's like really efficient, like it's not going to be a problem for them. But for someone that's going to be hopping in, just kind of goofing around and whatnot, or they don't want to build the staffs for some whatever reason, like let's say they have the like they're doing a pack-a-punch every gun challenge. Yeah, staffs, you're not building the staff, that's not going to help you. It's just Panzer is just a pain in the ass to me. But I don't know. I also am just kind of whatever with Origins, so that's just my perspective on that.
Well, getting back to my case about the Panzer, did I explain what is so bad about the Outbreak Panzer, or are we in agreement there?
I think we're in agreement. The Outbreak Panzer's just whatever, and by the time you even get to that, you can pretty much take it out with a Gallo, even if it's not at.
I just remembered that the Panzer on Outbreak is actually on Mauer as well.
But either way, that's still not that effective. I mean, by the time that Panzer spawns, you've already pretty much pack a punch at least once, and if you have an epic Gallo, that thing pretty much just goes down like immediately.
He spawns on basically the same round as Origins be, right?
No, Panzer spawns in around 10.
Yeah, but if you take into account the preset points system versus a normal point system from COD Zombie games of old, it pretty much balances out the same way.
Well, I guess it also depends too on if you get like a couple lucky double points or some bonus points or whatever. You can usually get a pack.
You just use the MP40, good old trusty wall weapon, go be set.
Yeah, but that's, you also, like, the MP40 is not as helpful as a packed Gallo or a random wonder weapon out of the box.
What I'm saying is you can use the MP40 to get a shit ton of points and then try and get an upgraded weapon or something like that, because you can do it by round 8.
I guess I just don't really do it that much, so I guess I'd rather Cold War Panzer.
You'd rather have the Cold War Panzer over the Origins Panzer. Oh my god.
I said I can handle the Cold War Panzer.
Oh.
I didn't say I'd rather have the Cold War Panzer.
I'm sorry. I just don't see all the hate for the Origins Panzer. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, every problem that people say they have with it, I just don't see the problem with it. Whether it's the claw or the round he spawns in on or anything like that, he's not a bad boss on Origins. And I would really argue that the attack that he does on Eisendrache, and especially on Outbreak, they are not good attacks and they are worse than the claw. And that's what I'm going to leave out on. So, tossing it back to you.
My number 4 hot take, the wave gun is a top 5 wonder weapon.
Honestly, I agree with this. I love the wave gun.
Now, where I put it, I think it's number 3.
I wouldn't go that far, but it'd probably be like number 5
all
of mine.
time.
But respectable.
I think the wave gun is probably the 3rd best wonder weapon. In my opinion, the top 5 wonder weapons, number 1's the Apothecary Servant, number 2 is the lightning bow, then number 3 is the wave gun, and then it's ice staff, and then thunder gun. And the reason I have the wave gun at such a higher spot than the ice staff and the thunder gun, the wave gun is infinite damage. The wave gun can easily be obtainable. You don't have to go on a scavenger hunt for parts, or you don't have to go on a giant quest. Yes, the RNG to get the wave gun is a pain in the ass, but I'd rather spin the box than, pray to the gods that a part actually falls out of the sky. It's infinite damage, and it's just one of the coolest wonder weapons in the entire, almost in the entire series.
It literally explodes zombies from the inside out. How could you not like that?
Exactly. Like I said, that's the other thing too, the cool factor, it's like top 5 easily, just off of that alone. But like I said, I just think the wave gun is a very underlooked weapon, and it should be higher on everybody's list.
Now, the zap gun. Now that's a different story. I think the zap gun sucks, but the wave gun by itself is really good, especially in conjunction with the hacker on Moon.
Yeah.
It just
even the zap gun, I mean, it's not the best thing in the world, but it's still pretty effective, and it's nice to have. Like, obviously, if you're gonna take a wonder weapon, you're gonna take the one that's gonna explode all the zombies in a group. But the zap gun in itself, it kills zombies one at a time, but it also does kill with every time you hit a zombie.
Really?
So
a lot of times when I play Moon, the zap gun is pretty much ineffective.
Oh, I thought the zap part was infinite.
All right, we're gonna solve this right here and right now. Zap gun COD wiki.
I think
it says damage is infinite. Dude, I'm telling you, I've had times where it must have just been a glitch though. I've had times where I spammed the zap gun at zombies and they did not die.
It could have just been a weird, you hit the same zombie twice or something like that. I could easily see the game breaking down and doing something glitchy and bullshit like that. But no, the zap part itself, it only kills zombies one at a time, but it's still infinite damage. It's still going to kill zombies. And honestly, the only thing that, in my opinion, well, actually 2 things, that don't make the wave gun, even higher. The RNG to get it, because the box on Moon is an absolute asshole.
Yes.
And also, it doesn't create drops.
Also, yes.
But that's it. That's, in my opinion, the only thing that's, an issue with the wave gun. But you also have to remember, too, when the Thunder Gun was introduced in Black Ops 1, Thunder Gun in Black Ops 1 does not create drops. They fixed it in BO3, and honestly, I kind of wish they had done it with BO3 Moon as well, that they could have added drops to the wave gun. But then again,
honestly, it doesn't really need it, because when you're out of ammo, you can just throw a Ghost device down and hack a drop that a zombie will drop inevitably.
Exactly. So
it's not even that big a problem.
Yeah.
The wave gun, good. But as BR would say, if you disagree, you are stupid.
Exactly. My number 3 hot take of this video: Buried's overrated. Buried is overrated as shit.
Honestly, it is. It is overrated.
I'm gonna say this: Buried's not a bad map. It's just an overrated map.
Is it a good map though?
I'd say it's a B tier map, but it's definitely, the amount of love that I hear of Buried is a little ridiculous in my opinion. don't get me wrong, it had some amazing features and it had some cool things like Leroy, the witches, the paralyzer, bringing the Mark II in. That was huge. I do like the Western theme of it, and like a lot of the stuff it does have, the drawables on the walls, and Vulturade's a really cool perk. I just don't see what makes Buried, in some people's eyes, like a top 10, even a top 5 map. Maybe I'm missing something, but I think it's one, unless you're like me and you don't really know the map and like all its layouts and stuff. Like, it's an easy ass map. Like, you get the paralyzer, you've already pretty much reached up around 100 right there. Like I said, the paralyzer is cool, but like I said, it's just you do that the bank strat, and you're pretty much at round 100 right there. So, that's everything said and done there. But yeah, it's way too easy, and like I said, for people that actually know the map, if you're someone like me and you've only played the map like maybe 10 times in your life, I just don't see like how it's supposed to be good. Like, everything in terms of like the system they have for picking up items and stuff in Black Ops 2 make the map almost unbearable in a way, because you have to get candy or you have to get booze to do make Arthur do your things all the time, whether it's breaking a barrier, building a buildable or anything like that. Like, you have to have, or if you don't have that, like the booze or the candy, that you have to go find all the parts, and that's just a pain in the ass because there's like 100 different parts for whatever buildable you're making, whether it's the subsurface resonator or the head chopper, or even just not the shield, the turbine. Wait, there is a turbine in that, right? Yeah. So you have to look for 100,000 parts in that map just to build one thing or whatever, and it's just like, okay, cool, that's awesome. And again, I know you can, get Leroy to build it, but then you have to find candy or you have to find booze, and it's like, yeah, but the part system here already sucks, so I don't want to have to deal with that.
That's true. Getting Leroy to do everything is very monotonous.
Yeah, like I said, so I don't like that at all. The maze is kind of a pain in the ass unless you have the paralyzer, because you feel like you're going one way and then all of a sudden you're fucked, and then you go the other way and you're fucked again. So I just don't see how the maze is really that, pardon the pun, amazing.
I like it.
I hate myself. But anyway, like I said, I just don't see what is really great out of Buried with the maze. Like I said, the little room where Pack-a-Punch is pretty cool. And like I said, Vulturade is a unique perk. And don't get me wrong, Buried innovated. It did a lot of cool things. But for people to say it's a top 10, top 5 map, I just don't see it. I really don't see it at all.
I don't think it's a top 10 map. Top 20, probably. Like, Buried is one of those fun maps to just hop on and do some absurdly dumb things on.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Buried has so many random things that aren't in pretty much any other Zombies map that make it unique.
Time bomb.
I can understand a case for people saying like it's a map that they really like playing, but top 10, like you said, you're just smoking dick at that point.
Exactly. Like I said, it has a lot of good things to it. I'm not disputing that at all. Like, it has a lot of cool features with it. I just, in my opinion, I just don't see how people can say it's a top 10, top 5 map. Actually, if I
going to continue on about Noah J, keep bullying him, I'm going to go check what his Buried placement was.
If I remember correctly, I think it was number 6 on his list, but again, he had descent to number 5. Why the hell? That's anywhere near top 10, I don't know. And I'm a Descent fan. But like I said, I just think that what'd you see?
No, just you, just randomly shitting on Descent.
Oh, well, to be fair, that map every once in a while, it's kind of whatever without the blunderbuss. But anyway.
Hold on. Yeah, he has Descent in his top 5. It's number 5,
yep.
and Buried is number 6.
Yeah.
Oh my
okay,
god.
I was right.
Guess what number 7 is? Fucking carrier.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's the most
bad.
offensive thing on the list right there.
Yeah, carrier is a shit tier map.
All right.
But anyway, but like I said, there are people like Noah. Then okay, I'm not fully judging his opinion because other than carrier, like there are people that have buried in their top 10, almost their top 5. Some of them might even have it at number 1. Do I think you're correct on that? Again, it's your opinion. It's whatever. I just don't see where or how anybody can have it at that high of a quality or how high they can have it there. I really can't. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, and I'm not entirely sure why.
I'm just gonna slide this in here, right now.
Uh-oh. Slider in. That came out wrong.
The mechanics on Cold War Zombies are not good.
Whoa.
There is some good things that they have changed in Cold War, but I'd say it's almost like a 2-to-1 ratio of bad additions versus good additions.
No, when you're talking mechanics, what are you talking about? Like
Just how the game functions and how the game works.
So like
Everything
how
from, like-
so basically instead of like playing it in Black Ops 3 or whatever where you have all that stuff there, you'd rather play like a Black Ops 3 part of Zombies rather than a game that kind of feels like it's Modern Warfare 2019 or something like that.
Basically, yes. I'm gonna break this down because I know I'm gonna have people losing their mind. Because every time I say anything bad about Cold War, whether it's on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, whatever the hell, there's always people that get so offended that I dare slander the holy name of Kevin Drew, Craig Houston, and the rest of the Cold War Zombies dev team. Like, I'm sorry, but like, it's just, it's overrated as shit. Like, okay, starting off, we're gonna start with the perks, okay? The perk system itself, like how you can upgrade them outside the game, is good.
Yep.
And I hope they bring it back. What I don't hope they bring back is the infinite perks. I do not like how you can buy every perk in the map at once without having to do a quest. I'm gonna sound like the old man screaming at the clouds, but back in my day, when Zombies was challenging, the only way you could get every perk in the map is by doing a side quest or doing the main quest itself, and that's the reward. And without it just makes the game piss easy. Like, Cold War would be much harder if you could only grab, like, even like IW, just 5 perks, and that's it. So you could get, like, double tap, or not double tap, yeah, right. You could get Juggernog, Stamina Up, Elemental Pop, Quick Revive, and, I don't know, Death Perception. I knew that would get a reaction out of you.
Yeah, I think that might be your the hot take over your other hot take.
Honestly, I didn't even think
continue.
about that. All right, stay tuned for the next episode for that one. If you cut the game to like a maximum of 5 perks, and then you had something like Forsaken where you did a side quest, you got every perk in the map. Whatever, that's cool. Zombies is all about earning stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just sit in a corner for 10 rounds with your purple rarity Gallo, and boom, you can get all the perks just like that.
Yeah, I would be okay if it had like a 5 or 6 perk limit. I'd definitely be okay with that. Because there are definitely some perks that perks that just make you like overpowered as shit, in my opinion. Because if you level up Jug to the max, you're pretty damn powerful there. Quick Revive, if you max that out, is really, really powerful. Stamina Up, you just are the fastest motherfucker alive. And even Deadshot is like, honestly, in my
really
opinion,
good in Cold War.
It's really good in Cold War. Like, it really is.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not shitting all over the perk system as a whole. The idea of upgrading the perks outside of the game is a fantastic idea, and I've been preaching that since like World War II days.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that they were actually able to sit down and do it and almost perfect it. The system itself could use a little tweaking, but it's a great foundation to build upon. Getting back to the perks though, it's like I said, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I already said 1 step forward and 1 step back. The preset perk prices for every single perk being the same. Such a bad idea. Again, back in the old days of Zombies, 500 points for quick revive, 2,500 points for jug, 1,500 points for dead shot, 2,000 points for electric cherry, stuff like that. Like, the more valuable the perk was, chances are the more expensive it was. So you would almost have to save up your points and then make a huge purchase for it, or you could just buy all the small perks until you can build yourself up to it. But in Cold War, no matter if I want Juggernog or Death Perception or Tombstone or whatever the hell else, it'll always be the same amount of points. And it just keeps ramping up at 500 points at a time. Which, speaking of which, talking about killing the early game progression, let's go over the starting loadout. Holy shit, is this a bad mechanic? It's so unbalanced anymore. Like it's crazy. I just stuttered my ass off. That's how insane this is. And the fact that people love it, I don't understand it. Why would I ever spawn in with an RK-7 or whatever it's called, the Diamatti, or I have BO4,
1911,
the 1911, or the AMP-63 or something, when I can just spawn in with a fucking Gallo or a Howler or a Street Sweeper and don't have to upgrade my weapons at all until like round 10. They're perfectly fine. A pistol, you're gonna have to be trading that shit out by like round 3. So that just renders like 99% of the game's starting weapons useless. And then if you think about it, with being able to upgrade the starting weapon's rarity, there's no incentive to hit the box or buy a wall weapon pretty much ever. When's the last time you hit the mystery box on Cold War?
There's a mystery box in Cold War.
Point proven, thank you. When's the last time you bought a wall weapon in Cold War?
I honestly kind of thought that I don't think I've ever really bought a wall weapon unless it's a Howler that's legendary.
Point proven, thank you. Unless you're trying to get the Wonder Weapon, which you can even get from the trials, and that's more entertaining than hitting the box. There's no reason to ever go out of your way to buy something off the wall or hit the mystery box, and that completely, like twice as bad as BO4 ever did at its worst, that completely kills early game progression. And that is one of my biggest problems with Cold War as a whole.
See, I think a good fix for that, I know this is a hot takes, but now I'm starting to feel like we should be going into fixing Cold War. But as far as the perks go, I would be okay with 6 perk limit, because honestly, Tombstone's useless, Speed Coal is kind of whatever in Cold War, and you don't have to have PhD and whatnot. Although PhD is the most fun perk in the game. But yeah, I would be okay with 6 perk limit. I do wish that we could go back to the old point system in terms of buying the perks, because I miss quick revive at 500 and all that stuff. The self revive thing was also a pain in the ass. Like I don't like that as much.
Yeah, you go down one time, then you won't be able to get another self revive until like round 30. And by that point, you're just gonna be swimming in rare salvage. So you can just keep buying infinite revives.
Yep.
Like the game is so poorly balanced, it's not even funny.
My argument to that to all this is it is a player versus everybody. So it is kind of nice to feel a little overpowered, especially considering the fact that other than like really having to crank up wonder weapons to a certain degree in earlier games, like that's when you would feel overpowered. But
then I ask this question: how would BO1 feel if you just spawned in with the RPK?
Oh, it'd be bad.
Okay. How would BO2 be if you just spawned in with, I don't know, the Scar H?
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
You need the starting weapons to make yourself as weak as possible, to not only feel like you're getting stronger constantly, but to keep you on your toes. Yeah. Like, honestly, by the time you get set up in Zombies, it's not that difficult. The hardest part is like the first 5, 10, 15 rounds. At least in the earlier games. Cold War, probably the easiest rounds that you will ever play. Unless, of course, you're not running a shotgun. In that case, no, we're back to square one.
I would say if they wanted to, if they should have fixed that by, well, one, not having the super Easter egg reward, because that epic gun eliminates everything.
Even before that, this was a big problem. Like, super Easter egg reward, whatever, I can understand that. But the Gallo being able to be started with off the rip, it's just so much better than every other weapon in the game, and the Street Sweeper, and the Howler, and whatever else other OP bullshit I'm forgetting. Starting off with it is a horrible idea. And I made a tweet about this when I first heard them talking about this being a gameplay mechanic, a gameplay feature, back in like August 2020, like way before Cold War even came out. And I basically said, start with the 1911. It'll be good for the community or something. And people got on my ass and was like, what the fuck is your problem? You're so stupid. You're this, and this. 2 years later, it was right. None other than yours truly.
I guess my argument to
almost like I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I guess my argument to this would be, this game was not meant to be for the hardcore players. This game was meant to be for the casual players, or the people that have never played zombies before.
BO1 was made for casual players, and it still
was
hard
made for
as
casual
shit.
players. It was, but it was also like that was still in its kind of early development, like life cycle, pretty much. Because obviously, you know, everything started off with Noct and World at War, and then it just kind of progressed from there. But that was also at a time too when zombies wasn't like as huge of a deal. People like hopped in and they would play and stuff. But then again, what's probably the most played map of all time, obviously because it's the spawn map or starting map or whatever. Exactly, it's the best starting map of all time, or the best zombies map of all time. But like I said, people still rant and rave about that because it is a casual map. So I think that's why people like Cold War and they like all the things that came with it, is because it's a casual game. So obviously, if you can go in with a shotgun that can pretty much get you the same amount of points as a pistol would or whatever, which one of the big things they fucked up was the point system. I hate the point system so fucking much.
I love BO4 zombies, but that's BO4's fault more than Cold War.
Not even, but BO4 still had, but BO4 also had it to where a stab will still get you 130 points or whatever, whereas on Cold War it's 90 or 115. It doesn't matter like what you do. The only difference is a stab or a headshot or a body shot. Like I said, if the point system were to go back to the old way, then I think you would see more people going in with like a PPSH or like a pistol or something like that.
And honestly, if they made the old point system, it would almost make the starting off with whatever weapon you want. It would almost make it a good idea.
Yeah,
the shotgun would still be stupidly broken, but
for sure. But it won't get you that many points.
Yeah. So there's a trade-off. Do you want to be able to upgrade yourself as soon as possible, or you just want to have a weapon that'll carry you through the first 10 rounds?
I think that's where the problem is the point system and how that basically limits you. Because if you don't have an effective point system, or you just have a whatever point system, then of course you're going to go in with a powerful weapon if you have the choice of whatever gun. But if it goes back to the old point system, you're going to see more people going in with an AR or pistol or SMG or whatever. But again, it's the whole issue of like, the point system's not going to change. So of course I'm going to hop in there, especially since I'm a filthy casual. But like I said, Cold War was not a game meant for us. It was meant for casuals.
I understand that, but at the same time, like I already said, BO1 was made for casuals. And that game was still had some challenge to make players want to get better. Like, you played Cold War a couple times. How many casual players do you think were still playing by the time Malware came out? Those are the statistics I want to see.
Yeah, I would like to see that stuff.
They always brag about Outbreak being the most successful zombies launch or whatever ever. But outside of that, how many casual players are still around for Firebase or Malware? I get all you care about is your $60 and you don't care after that. But like, the casual players don't stick around from day one to day end.
True.
They stick around for as long as their friends do, or until there's a new, more popular game out, and then they just go play that.
True, that is a fair point. I don't know. I'm kind of in agreement with you, but like I said, my argument is that the whole casual argument. I really don't have a solid argument on that one. I like I said, I do think that your points are valid, but unfortunately, the way that everything was designed and how they kind of wanted to go about everything, like I said, this game was never meant for you and me. This game was meant for, Joe Schmo down the street, unfortunately.
And I have one more point. I have one more point that I want to touch up on. That is none other than the armor system. Bad, 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 bad. You know what I feel about it, B-Rad? It's
Oh, yeah.
bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not even gonna argue that one. The armor system shit. I hate the armor system.
You're probably noticing a pretty obvious pattern with all my complaints about Cold War. They all have one thing in common, that they're making the game as easy as possible. And I know we just went over, yeah, well, casuals want it. But as I already said, casual players don't have a problem with difficulty, as long as it's fun. Casual players probably would have loved BO4 if it was fun for the casual player. But they built it for the hardcore player. But
yeah,
anyways, getting back to this, I would much rather prefer the zombie shield to the armor system. Because like the armor system is just bad in every way that you can possibly think of. From having to keep buying it with salvage to not being able to just do like a 180. If like, say for example, you're red screen by like where one of the robots step in Origins. You're exiting through the path, but there's one zombie there trying to fuck you over. In Cold War with the armor system, you just have to accept your fate and take the down. But with the zombie shield, you can hurry up and turn yourself around so the zombie shield takes all of the attack and you don't die. Cold War, there's no way to only have the armor take the damage. It's always going to take some off your health bar as well.
Your points are valid in this one. I have no argument. I've been bitching about the armor system since like day 5. I don't like the armor system. I've always been a bigger fan of the shield when they brought that along in Black Ops 2. I will not defend the armor system.
And honestly, I hope that it doesn't come back. I hope all my points, all my problems with this game don't come back. Because like much of a bitter old man as I sound, I still love zombies and I still want it to grow and succeed. But I still want them to act like they give a shit about the people that helped them make the community and the game what it is. And that I feel like they've really lost in Cold War. So to summarize, point system, bad. Armor system, bad. Salvage system, bad. Loadout system, bad. Perk system, bad. For my number 3, I could just scratch this out and say that the Easter egg as a whole isn't bad.
Black Ops 4, in my opinion, was
Firebase Z, the single worst Treyarch map ever made.